Welcome to the Drunkard's Path. Before we get started, I wanted to give a shout out to a shop downtown in Sarnia that I was at the other day. It is called Heaven is Handmade. They sell yarn and knitting needles and all kinds of like knitting notions. So I was in there and I was talking to the ladies and they were so nice, just excellent to work with. So any question that you ever have in knitting, they will answer it for you. They're seasoned knitters and they have like come and knit at certain times. Like you can just come on in and knit with a group of people. And again, they will answer all your questions. So I just want to say thank you for the other day. That was such a nice visit I had with you. So if you're in the downtown area and you're a knitter, stop by Heaven is Handmade. I hope everybody had a really nice National Quilters Day and got a lot done and participated in maybe some local events or events online. I know I've been sewing quite a few things lately, so I've got a lot to show you today. Let me see. We are coming up on our first year anniversary. Can you believe that? I mean, Angeles and I have been working pretty hard this year to get our name out there and show as much as we can and let people know that we are here. We're online and we're open 24/7, so you can shop at any time. And today we would like to give away this nice fruit cocktail charm pack. So just leave a comment. Hit like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, and we wanted to say thank you. So we just thought it'd just be fun today to give away this nice charm pack. So a comment would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. To get things started, I wanted to show you what is new in the shop. Now, we have been waiting a long time for this, is to get our shipment of Strawberry and Lemonade by Shelley and Chelsea. This fabric line is a hot commodity this year. I guess maybe that's why we're the last ones to get it, because it was just snapped right up. I did manage to get 7 bolts of this particular fabric, and it is on the cover of the American Patchwork Quilting magazine, where Sherry McConnell did this quilt here, and the pattern is on the inside. I've seen this in magazines, and I know Kimberly Jolly from Fat Quarter Shop is using it in her Make-A-Wish quilt along, so you can go on her page and have a look at that. I believe that's free pattern that she puts out. They ask for a small donation that goes towards Make-A-Wish. That's for kids in Texas with illnesses, and they get to have a wish. And Fat Quarter Shop's always been really big on granting those wishes with the charity quilts and stitch along that they have each and every year. So let's have a look at Strawberry and Lemonade. Our first fabric here is called Apricot, and it is like a gingham, but it's like on a 45-degree angle, and it's really pretty color. The second one we have here is called Teal, and it is like a teal background with a circle of little dots, little white dots. Our next one is called Strawberry, and it has like more of a reddish background with a little bouquet of flowers on it. And here is the Lemonade. Little circles and maybe like a group of leaves or something on this one. And here we have Carnation, which is similar to the teal one, but it has a carnation color background with the circle of little dots. And here we have yet another version of Cloud, and it is very pretty. It's a low volume print with different colored flowers on it. And our last one is called Lime, and it has a greeny background with a white flower with little leaves coming down from it. So this is a very nice collection, and we hope it flies off the shelf. So I have been working on quite a few things lately in the past couple weeks. So let's start with Socialites block number 16, designed by Corey Yoder. And this was an experience block and my goodness, it really was experience. It was a little difficult, but I did manage to get this one done. And this is the finished block. A lot of little pieces to it, and when you're doing in the 6-inch block, it was fun to do, but it tested me, that's for sure. The next one is called Jack in the Box block from the Riley Blake 2023 quilt along. So this is what this one looks like, and this block was by Sandy Gervais. And here's my block. Again, I used all the solids on this one, and I like this one. It turned out, it looks harder than what it is, because it's a lot of half square triangles, but it's just how they're put together afterwards. So again, pay close attention when you're setting it up on your board. And speaking of Shelley McConnell, her March block came out, and that's the first Monday of every month. For if you go to a Quilting Life web page on her blog, she will have on the Monday, she will have her next block out. So this is what it looks like. The outside is always the same. It's the inside. Actually, that's the actual block there, but the outside is always the same. This is the block, and this is what it will look like. So this here outside will remain the same, and then she changes the inner block. And this is the fabric that I've chosen. It's a Christmassy one, and I just used the pink for my background. So I've made the outside into, it's different. The background stays the same, but I've chosen different fabrics, because I'm using a fat quarter bundle, so get a different variation with each block. Because I didn't have enough to do, I decided to join Lisa Bonjean's quilting box, which comes out every other month. So in it, I just was lucky enough to start at the beginning. It's called Starburst, is the quilt along that goes with this one. And I guess there's like a ton of half square triangles, but she actually supplied the the triangle paper. So I tried hers out for the first time, and this is the first block. Again, there's lots of half square triangles, and it's gonna look, I think it's gonna look pretty nice when it's all done, but I think there are gonna be 25 of this block, and you just choose your own background. It does come with the fat quarters, so every other month you'll get a stack of fat quarters, and they're all again on the solid. So I thought I'd go with a little bit of a medium volume, I guess, background instead of a solid. So we'll see what it looks like when this one's all done. Next, I want to show you something that I saw on one of my emails that came from Ye Old Fabric Shop, which is located in Stratford. I get their email. I guess it comes almost on a daily basis, Monday to Friday, I believe. But they did have some free patterns on there. So with the mini charms, they had a couple of patterns, and one of them kind of caught my eye, because you get the little mini charm packs, and you just think, what to make with these, right? And I thought these were so cute. They were just little mats that you can make with, they call them snack mats. So you can put a tea and some, a sandwich or something like that, cookies, whatever, and you can use it basically for whatever you want. But with the charm pack, or the mini charm pack, you can make 2 of these. So I did. I made 2, and one of them I'm going to give away to a friend of mine. So make one for a friend. In that same magazine, the American Patchwork Quilting, I think, let me see, this is the April edition, I believe. Oh, April. So this is the April edition on here. Inside was a pattern for a wall hanging, and I thought it was really cute. So I decided to make that, and this is what I have hanging up in my hall right now. So you make the little house, and then put your blocks around it, so it just goes 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you go all the way around, and then you add this piece at the bottom. And I actually I embroidered the word welcome on mine, but then I saw there was a lot of space down here. So what I did was I fussy cut this little piece from a Corey Yoder fabric, and I thought it turned out pretty nice. It actually fit in with the colors that I had up here, so this is what it is, how it turned out. And again, it's hanging in my front foyer. With Easter coming up, I thought I wanted to make something for my little granddaughter. This will be the first time we'll be able to celebrate Easter with her, since she's going to be, well, almost 8 months by the time Easter rolls around. So I decided I was going to make this little pieced fabric basket, and I got this off of Etsy. So we'll link most of this stuff down below, so if anybody wants to make any of these items, they're going to be linked there. So I decided to make the basket, and here's the finished basket. And it took a bit of time because these are all like sections all the way around. It also has the scallops, so you have to make those individual and you attach them on the top. And inside, the lining is also pieced the same way it is pieced out here. And then you have the bottom and the handle. So I added a couple of bows on each side. Now she's too small to have chocolate and candies, so we'll just put some toys in here, maybe a book, a little book, just something to make it look pretty for her first Easter. And finally, for the sewing section, I'm going to show you from the Perfect 10 book, the one that I started on the last video I showed the block. It's called the French Vanilla Quilt. And I used some Halloween fabric I had was a layer cake. So this book is all layer cake friendly. So I am going to show you the completed quilt top. Now it's not quilted yet, but it's kind of big. It's a really good size. So this is the completed quilt. Oh, we can't go all the way to the bottom, but you get the idea. This is all from the same layer cake, and then I used some yardage for outside. I didn't want to go with just a solid, so I just went with a more lower volume, and I think it matched quite well. So I think I'm going to go with some like an orangey thread for the quilting, and maybe if I can find, you know, if my quilter long armor has any type of Halloween type pattern, that would look really cute on here. I'm going to show you the backing on this quilt because I used just about everything but the kitchen sink on this one. I found every little piece that I could, and I pieced together what was left of the layer cake, whatever I could find that had a Halloween theme to it, or even some solids. But you get the picture that you can just go in and grab whatever you've got, piece it together, and make it on the back, and it will, if anything, it makes it a fun background. But it was fun to do, challenging but fun to make sure you had it the right length, because you need those extra 4 inches all the way around. So I can't wait to see this one completely done and bound. So hopefully that will be for the next video. I just want to add that for this book, whoops, let me see, the Perfect 10. Now this is my own copy of it, but we did run out of this one in the shop. So if you are interested, leave a comment below and let us know, or actually send an email to support@drunkardspath.com if you're interested in us getting this book, so we can put an order in and get a few more in. So if the interest is out there, please let us know. Now we come to the cross stitch portion of the video. This one I showed you that I had started this. It's just April, and is done by the Prairie Schooler, and it's really cute, kind of an Easter scene, but it also, you could use it all year round. It reminds me very much of spring. Well, I got it done, so I'm going to show you. I didn't get it fully finished, but this is what it looks like, all stitched up. And I just finished this morning, so it was like a mad dash to the finish line on this one to get it done for the video. But I thought it turned out super nice, and I just love those colors. And like I said last time, I have a really special finish for this, but unfortunately I didn't get enough time to complete that. But hopefully again by next video I'll see the completed finish for this cross stitch piece. We do have a few cross stitch patterns with Easter theme, so there's still plenty of time if you want to purchase a couple of these. Coming up soon, it will be our giveaway for our spring giveaway for our garden plots pattern, fabric, and the layer cake. So it's a whole quilt kit that every time you make a purchase, your name will go in for this giveaway, and it will be drawn on April the 1st. And now here's our tutorial on how to make this cute little basket. Happy National Quilters Day from Drunkard's Path Quilt Shop. Today I'm going to show you how to make this little basket with this free pattern that I got online. So what you'll need, the fabric requirements are, you'll need a 1/4 yard for the bottom piece and the handles. The handles, I did use a different piece, but you can use whatever you like. You need 3 different fabrics for the 2-inch squares. You need 1/8 yard of each. For the inside, for the lining, it calls for 1/2 yard, but I don't think I used a 1/2 yard. I'd be very surprised if you had to use that much. And you need a 1/2 yard of the batting, which again, I don't even think, if you have a fat 1/4, you're gonna be just fine for each of those. So let's get started. Okay, to get started, we're going to take all of our 2-inch squares. We're going to lay them out. I use this board here, and I put down all the squares how I want to see them laid out in my basket. So I have 2 rows. So I'm going to sew them all together, like 2 by 2 by 2. I'm just probably going to chain piece that. So here are all our 2-inch squares sewn together, and just show you the back. I pressed open on everything. So I'm laying them down like the pattern tells me to. And I'm going to take the next piece, which is the 6 by 9.5 inch piece, which, just to let you know, I did a goof and I cut it 6 by 9, which I had a nicer piece of fabric that matched better. But, you know, when things happen, you go to plan B. So what it says in the pattern is to sew the squares to that piece there. Okay, now that everything is sewn together, we add our batting. And we kind of pin it down, and now I'm going to sew right in the ditch on both sides. So the batting is going to be adhered to the back of the outside of the basket. Okay, now we have our batting on here. We've sewn down, like it said, in the ditch here. Kind of basted the edges so it all stays together. Next thing, it tells me to fold the right sides together. I'm going to sew down 1/4 inch on each side. Okay, the sides are sewn. Now we're gonna tackle the corners. So what we're gonna do is gonna open it up like that and lay it down. Try to get it so this is centered. And it's telling me that we need 1 3/4 from the pointy end to where we're going to, let me just see here, 1 3/4. So where our sew line will be. So, try and get that parallel. And we're going to mark it. Oopsie. Let's put the lid on. And then we're going to sew along that line. And then I'm going to flip it and do the other. So once I sew on this line, then I'm going to cut 1/4 inch away from the seam line. And that will be our box corner. So, I'll do this side. And I'll do the other side. And I'll be back. Okay. Here's the outside of the basket turned inside out. And you can see, if I go like this, you can see the box corner. So leave it like that because it doesn't tell us to turn it right back in again. So now we're going to work on the handles. And the handles, they are 2 by 10.5 inch each piece. And what we're going to do, as it says, we're going to sew these ones and these ones together and then fold into the center on the wrong side. Okay, now I've sewn the handles together like that, and then you fold it into, like on the wrong side, fold it into the middle, and then fold it over. And then we're going to go back to the sewing machine. We're going to sew about 1/8 inch on either side. So I'll do that for both handles. So we're going to make a little correction. After you sew it like that, you cut it in half. So you only need 1 of these, not 2. That was my mistake. And here we are. Here's our 2. Okay. So now it tells me to turn the handle, sew the handles onto the basket. So we're going to go like this. We're going to pin them on so the little handles will be sewn like this on either side. So the red, make sure you don't get it twisted. Make sure that it has like a nice U shape, okay? And now I'm just going to pin that into place. Bring my other piece up. Center that kind of in the middle of that square. Pin without jabbing yourself. Okay. Spin it around. Do the same thing. Kind of center that. Put a pin. Or you might have your wonder clips. That's a good thing to use instead of pins. Okay. Center that. And put that on. And I'm going to sew these onto the basket now. Now we have the handles are sewn onto the side of the basket. So starting to take shape. Now we're going to do the lining. So it tells me to take the 12 by 9 1/4 inch lining piece, fold it in half. Now I have a solid piece, but put your right sides together. And you're going to sew 1/4 inch down this side. On this side, you're going to sew and you're going to leave a gap. Let me see, about a 2-inch gap. And then sew it down. The gap is so we can turn the basket all the way through when we're done. So just be careful that you have enough so you can turn your basket out. And then you're going to, again, box the corners. Just double check on here the same way. Yep, same way as you did for the outside. You're going to do the lining, so I will get that part done. So here's our outer basket. Here's the lining. Now you've got to turn the lining through. So you have, so here's our corners, or in the box corners. So we're going to put this inside, right sides facing, okay? Just so you know. And then we're going to line up the seams, and we're going to sew all the way around. So I have, this time I'm going to use my wonder clips and just line up those seams and put a clip, and I'm going to do that all the way around, and I'm going to sew it. And don't forget, you have that little opening in the seam inside where the lining is, so you're going to turn your basket through when you're done. So I'm going to do this and we'll turn it through. Okay, so I've turned the basket right side in. Once I sewed around the top, I left that little opening on the inside, which I then stitched it closed after I turned it right sides together. Now you have to push the lining back into the basket. And see, the handles are fine. They're going the right way. It's just a little basket. Just nice for Easter. You can put little gifts in there. Or use it to just use whatever fabric you want. And you can use it all year around. You can use it for sewing notions. Whatever you like. A little gift basket for somebody. Thank you so much for your support. As always, keep sewing, keep stitching.